Hello everyone, welcome to day 16 of our Advent Calendar reviews. Today we're reviewing Transformers Legacy Evolution, Amazon exclusive, Nova Prime. This figure is based off of his appearance in I believe the IDW comics, along with Devastation. So yeah, let's get into the figure. Let's say, just the music may be a little too loud. Just turn it down a few notches. There you go. Now, like I was saying, Nova Prime here is based off of his appearance in the comics and Devastation. So, with that being said, this figure is a retool of Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, which was a retool of Siege Ultra Magnus. So you will see a lot of parts and engineering tricks and gizmos shared between all these guys. For example, this entire section here is from Galaxy Upgrade Prime, while the entire cab figure here is from Siege Magnus. The armor is Galaxy Prime's, minus the wings and new head in here, and I believe the new chest, while the figure here is practically the exact same as Siege Magnus. Few differences. For example, Siege Magnus had a much more robust grille. It was had 4 ports, 2 here, and it didn't disassemble into any pieces like this one does. That trick came with Galaxy Upgrade Prime, which was then brought back for Evolution Nova Prime here. So yeah, Legacy Evolution Nova Prime feels great to handle. He's a very chunky figure, you know. He rattles a little bit, just the nature of how the wheels are attached. Figure overall feels solid, durable. He has cannons, so you know, you can point those any way you want. Angle that up. Looks lovely as ever, and they are Blast Effect compatible. You know, grab a flame from Megatronus right here. Just put that in. Both of them are Blast Effect compatible. Also, just 5mm port compatible too. So, feel free to put whatever you want. For example, let's grab Vector Prime sword right here. Bam! You know, got yourself a little handle. Or, let's see. Let me put you right there. There you go. Release the battering ram. Oh. The wings get a little low, so because of that, he has a habit of getting caught on the table. Or in this case, the shirt. Evolution Nova Prime here feels great and looks wonderful. The cab is beautifully sculpted with these very lovely highlights. The gold here and here are beautiful. The gunmetal gray has a slight bluish tint to it, so it doesn't just look like gunmetal gray. There's a slight blue tint to it. Because of that, it looks even more gorgeous than usual. And these light blue windows are nice. Sculpt work along the rest of the cab is as wonderful as ever. Rest of the figure looks great and feels great. So yeah, not much else to say about the alt mode, besides, actually, I guess there are a few more things. The trailer of the alt mode has some exposed bits. For example, here, you can clearly tell that's where the head is stored. Along with that, if you flip to the underside, it's very gappy. You can see twin cast through the gaps over there. So yeah, I think that this is the only really gappy part, though. Everything else here is solid. It locks in quite well. So yeah, conversion is pretty simple, but we're not doing that just yet. First thing we're going to do is size comparisons. So let's put Legacy Prime over there. Sorry, a few things were on the table. For size comparisons, we'll bring in Transformers Age of the Prime's Leader Class Megatronus. Legacy United Vector Prime. Age of the Prime's Alpha Trion. Gotta really zoom back on this one. Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime. Deluxe Class Solus Prime. And for the sake of completionism with all the other primes I have. 86 Optimus Prime. So yeah, that's about how he scales with everyone. A little chaotic, but, you know, if he gets the job done. See, put you there, shift you there, shift you there. No, looks better the other way. Good enough. Size comparisons, as usual though. Grab everyone out. And let's separate the cab from the trailer. Move these out of the way so I can show you properly. Just makes it a little easier to see. First thing you want to do is come to the sides and pull like that. Same thing on the other side. Oh. Let's tap that back in. And this is where everything becomes unstable now, because those two clips do a lot. Next thing you want to do is slide this up. This clip right here slides onto this rib-like piece. You want to angle this upward to pull the feet out. Just bring that back down, fold these back up, flip this down, and there's your trailer separate. Now, that leaves the cab. This cab, without the rest of the trailer, feels very light. You know, rattles a bit. Whoa, shit, almost went off the table. Rolls really well, as y'all can just see right there. You know, nearly went off the table already. The alt mode's pretty well put together. You know, it's a core robot, so it's not going to be perfect. I mean, the hands are clearly right there. But they get covered up by this block, so I could forgive it in that conversion. But when you have it just as a cab, it looks kind of ugly. The cab, or the front of the cab, is what you're really going to be looking at when you have it combined. But when you remove it, you get to look at everything else. It's like, ooh, that's what you look like? Nothing too bad, though. Everything here is still lovely looking. Still feels good. No main problems with it. It's just nice. It's solid. Nothing's coming off the more I shake. Yeah, see? It's all tabbed together pretty well. So yeah. Let's get the other primes in here for size comparisons once again. Wouldn't be right if we didn't start it off with 86 Prime, fellow cab former. 86 Prime slightly beats out this new, or evolution, with him being slightly longer. Just barely, but still there. Litter class Megatronus for comparison. Voyager Trion. Deluxe Solus. And Deluxe Alchemist. Oh, and Vector Prime. So yeah. With that being said, let's get into robot mode configuration. First thing I want to do is bring the legs down on these nice ratchets. Nice and solid. So yeah. Flip out the heel spurs right here and here. Slight angle so he's in the nay stance. Bring these around, or bring them out and around. Rotate this section. Push this up. Before we push this back in, we want to pull this forward. Oh, wow. Damn. There you go. Just say, didn't want to open up on that. There you go. Push it in. Then these tabs right here are going to go into these slots. Straighten the arms out. Rotate the fist. Just like so. And bam. That is the core robot to Nova Prime. Nova Prime's core robot looks fine as is. Head sculpt is still the same that was used on previous core robots. The core robot to Siege Magnus, Netflix pack or spoiler pack Magnus, Kingdom Magnus, Galaxy Upgrade Prime, and Studio Series, or no, my bad. Almost said 86. No, that's a different figure entirely. What I was trying to say was Shattered Glass Magnus, as I do believe this is the same head sculpt underneath that armor set too. So yeah, Head sculpt is beautiful as ever. The paint apps on this is honestly gorgeous. They use this pearlescent blue, or this metallic pearl blue kinda, and it looks beautiful. Along with the beautifully painted blue eyes in there too. It's nice. Gives me a more proper, more regal feeling of White Optimus. The thighs use a different shade of gunmetal plastic. Or actually, no. This is the same gunmetal as this, just actual solid plastic. Which is honestly really nice. I love this shade. I love gunmetal gray a lot, but this has a slight blue tint to it. And it makes it look a lot nicer to me. It's more pleasing to my eyes. They use it right here too. The arm joints are made out of this sand blue. And we have some more gold aspects, such as the gold fingers. More of going for this kind of fingerless glove look, which looks nice. Head sculpt, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it's just Optimus Prime. So yeah. Backpack is a backpack. You know, it's out of the way at least, so, you know, at least you don't have a situation where it's like, in this weird middle ground and you lose waist rotation. You know, it actually goes all the way up. Like so, full 360, which is nice. I love when my figures have good articulation. Makes me appreciate them some more. Figure poses pretty well too, actually. So not only does he look pretty good, he poses pretty well. Head can look up that far, down that far, side to side, full 360. Arms can go all the way around, like so, up that far. Rotation at the bicep, 90 degrees exact at the elbows, 360 rotation at the fist, 360 at the waist. Legs can go back that far, forward that far, on some really nice ratchets, by the way, which I'm happy they included because, you know, super mode. Knees bend exactly 90 degrees, and finally, a decent ankle pivot. Nothing too extreme, but just the right amount of range you're going to need to get out of a figure like this. So, that leaves size comparisons before we put all the armor on Nova. So let's do this. First figure we're going to start off with is Optimus Prime. Just like so. Next one will be our Solus Prime. After that, Alpha Trion. There you go. After that, United Vector Prime. Should probably angle this up some more. And after that, 86 Prime. And finally, AOTP, the Fallen, or as we all know him and love him, Megatronus. So yeah, there's your size comparisons. As charming as ever. And I just realized I forgot to grab Prima. He's still in that pile of figures over there on that top shelf of all the figures I've already reviewed. We don't need to dig him out. Now, we're going to prepare Nova here for his armor up. First things we want to do is flip in these heel spurs, come to the crotch, pull out and rotate. Pull the chest plate forward, push down, collapse back. Remove these engine block pieces. They're attached by two ports. This tab right here and this port right here into this slot and slot right here and here. You're then going to want to plug these in on their corresponding sides, like so. Next thing you want to do is actually bring this back out, because I simply just forgot the most important step. Pull the arms back, untab this, flip the head in, collapse, retab, then push back in. And now, there he is. That's the base figure ready. So now we bring this in. First thing you want to do is come to the bottom right here, pull, like so. That separates these lock-in mechanisms right here and here from these tabs, and that untabs these from these slots right here and here. Because if you try pulling the top ones all out first, because of how well it locks in, it will not let go. You want to pull from the bottom. It's just easier. and you don't risk breaking these tabs. Next thing you want to do, separate the legs and push down on these, just like so. Then you want to grab these legs. This slot right here goes into this slot right here, and these clips go into these two little clip slots right there. Slide them on, just like so. Flip out the heel spurs, because this guy's backpack gets big real fast. Then you take these, this slot right here, and slot right here are going to go on this shoulder, on this port, and this slot is going to go into this little groove right there. Same thing on the other side, like so. Next thing you're going to want to do, pull these, pull the wings out right here and here, flip this up, pull this piece back in, flip them over and around. Grab the guns, straighten them out, rotate around, push up. Same thing on the other side, just like that. Finally, pull this up, pull this up, and rotate. These clips are going to go onto this rib, or on this spine-like detail, like so. Gotta make sure everything's over, because there's two little tabs right here and right there. They're going to go into these little slots right here on top of the shoulders, like so. Then these tabs right here and here will go into these little chest slots. If the shadow didn't cover, okay. These chest slots right here and here, basically like this. Clips in. I'm doing a terrible job at showing you guys how this works. Wow. Clips in right there. Over, if it wants to. Dear God, I'm failing miserably. There we go. Wow. That was terrible. I'm usually better at that. No, but this is the real reason why everyone wants to get this guy. The armored up look. Nova Prime here is honestly gorgeous. He is a beautiful figure. And there's one figure I've been trying to get ever since he first released. You see, I missed out on the clearance sales on Amazon, so I had to buy this guy on the Big Bad Toy Store from when he got reissued. And holy shit, I am thankful to whatever gods allowed me to get this guy on that reissue. Because, we all know, when that reissue is over again, this guy's prices are going to go up again. And when that happens, anyone else that wants this guy is kind of fucked. Because either we wait for a new pre-order, or not pre-order, new re-release, or reissue. That's what I've been trying to say, but I kept screwing up. My apologies. Either you all wait for a new reissue, or y'all just gotta wait for a new version, a whole new figure. Which, I mean, is also pretty good, because if you get a whole new figure, that means that the chances of him being a retool like this one is very unlikely. It's also getting really hot in my room now. Jesus. I'm sweating. But back to the figure. Nova Prime here looks wonderful. He feels great. No? Legs wobble a little bit. It's kind of the nature of this mold. And it's also because they're ratchet joints, so kind of inevitable with how this goes. It's fine though. They don't bother me too much. If he's able to stand good and pose well, I'm all for it. Nova Prime here is clearly based off of his previous appearances. For example, his appearance in the Dead Universe, along with his appearance in Devastation. Both of which use this look. The head sculpt is beautiful, by the way. There you go. This horn detail is lovely, using that slightly blue gunmetal gray I've been telling you all about that I love. The faceplate uses this pearlescent sand blue, which is wonderful. The chest plate uses that gunmetal gray I've been telling you about it as well. The overall sculpt of this guy looks wonderful. They've done a beautiful job sculpting all these new parts here. The head looks great. No, he will clearly fit into your G1 shelf. Yeah, he's going to look a little different in some spots, especially with all the greebling details we got going here, but he will fit. And I'll put him next to G1 Prime, or 86 Prime. Yeah, there's quite a few extra details, but they look like they kind of belong together. Keyword, kinda. Now, if you compare him to someone like Megatronus here, that's a different story. These two do not, say, 86 Prime next to Megatronus, they do not look like they belong even in the same world, let alone the universe. You know, we got G1 compared to, I believe this is Dreamwave Comics design, right? I never got into the comics too much, so can't say too much or much information on them. They weren't my forte, like I mentioned. Time's Return and RID 2015 is what I grew up on, so that's what I have the most knowledge on. And even then, the knowledge there's limited. Because I've never finished RID 2015. No, I went off of Netflix. They only had season 1 there. So yeah. This suit of armor, though, is great. He looks great. He feels great. The new wings are beautiful. I love the gunmetal gray. I love the gold highlights right here, or the gold inserts. These aren't two separate. These aren't. Wow! I'm sorry. I did not mean to yell that loud. I'm probably just hurt some of you guys' eardrums if you're using headphones. My apologies. Like I'm trying to say, though, these gold bits painted inside the wings look great. The back of the figure is a little waffly, a little panel-liney, or a little paneling. No, paneling is what Origins Wheeljack has. Never mind. This guy isn't panely at all. The extra bits used for the alt mode to lock them in hide away here very well and don't hinder much of the figure, you know? He still has a 360 rotation after all, so that's nice. The scaffolding details on the wings on the back bother me a bit. They don't look too good. Just gonna say that as is. They don't look that good at all. Oh. Rest of the figure, though, feels great. Solid, durable. The shoulder pad details are nice. New arm mounts look great. The fists, just being the fists, work well with this upgraded mode. He has some guns on the side right here that are removable, both of them on both sides, so he can hold those. They don't look great in anyone's hands because of how ridiculously long this handle is, but that's always an option. And when you remove them, you reveal a bunch of this beautiful panel, or this beautiful sculpting here. It looks gorgeous. And when you put them back on, it covers up a lot of that. But look at all that. It's absolutely stunning. Another little gimmick that you got with this guy, and this is something that came with Galaxy Upgrade Prime here, is you get underslung cannons, which honestly I'm in love with. Come on, get in the hands, buddy. Same thing on the other side. Straighten the fist out, tab it in, and boom. Just like that. And honestly, they don't... No, okay. Let's see. Okay, they might hinder it a little bit. But for the most part, moves good enough. Let's just get these flipped back around, though. Alright. The barrel on this gun is removable and can become its own little blaster, too. Should probably mention that before I forget. So yeah, with that being said, nothing much else to talk about, so let's get into articulation. Head is on a ball joint, can look up that far, if it wants to focus. There you go. Can look up that far, down that far, side to side, 360 rotation at the head as it is a ball joint, so wobble wobble. Arms go back that far, forward that far, and up that far. Just like so. Straighten that back out. Arms can go out that far. 360 rotation at the bicep. 90-degree elbow bend. 360 rotation at the fist. Or, yeah, there you go. 360 rotation. Wings are on a hinge, so flap, flap, flap. The cannons are on hinges, just like so. Can move quite a bit. Same thing goes for the other side. 360 rotation at the waist. Legs can go back that far, forward that far. Rotation at the thigh. Forgot to mention that with the core robot, but since this is mostly core robot's articulation, nothing much changes. But yeah, there is a rotation at the thigh. The knee bend is a little more hindered in this mode because of all the extra material here and here. So you don't get too far, but you do get a much bigger ankle pivot. So yeah. Now, that leaves one more thing for all of you. Size comparisons. So let's bring back Megatronus for that comparison. 86 Prime. United Vector Prime. Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Deluxe Class Alchemist. And finally, Deluxe Class Solus. And I must say, the Prime lineup that we've had throughout these years is beautiful. I love where we're going with this. But now, that leaves me with the last question. Should y'all get this? Honestly, if you find this for a non-scalper price, for example, don't pay double, but if you don't mind paying a little extra, sure. Honestly, this figure is great. If you enjoyed Galaxy Upgrade Prime, you will definitely enjoy this more. Because it's not just an Optimus Prime, it's a new character. And honestly, the character looks great. Nova Prime has been a character on my list for a little while, ever since I first discovered Devastation. So when I heard that we were getting a new one, I was very ecstatic. I hated that I missed out on the original pre-orders and, well, normal orders. But I'm happy I finally got my hands on him. May have taken a few extra years after he first came out, but finally did it. So yeah, if that all being said, if you all enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share. If you didn't enjoy, leave a comment, tell me why you didn't like it. Tell me what I can improve. I love hearing everyone's thoughts. So yeah, with that all being said, y'all take care. Thanks for watching, and goodbye my monkeys.